All right, so welcome to the Mastermind for March. Welcome and thank you for coming. This is great. When you guys come, that's where the magic happens, right? So we get to work together, mastermind, access our collective wellness, our collective wisdom, and we can work through the topic of the day. The topic we chose. Not just out of nowhere, but it came up through some stuff that we were looking at lately with content and posting. I might have mentioned before that I'm looking to ramp up my content starting this week, right now, in this month, a significant amount. So we thought we'd circle back to this because with content uh, and posting and the things that we share, that makes up kind of our storefront, right? That's how people know we exist. Other than the DMs and the networking and all that stuff, it's the stuff we're regularly posting. One thing I was just sharing with Jody the other day was there's two, when I was running my personal training business, there was two main ways that I got clients. One was through referrals, through relationships I built and maintained over time, building credibility, building trust, and then having people share or connect me with someone. So referrals was one thing. But the second thing was whenever I was consistently posting at a cadence that was frequent enough, in some platforms it was daily, but um, on some sort of track, on some sort of theme or series or something that really kind of built on itself, when I went to my DMs and connect with people, I would get, because sometimes we don't always get the feedback, right? Sometimes you don't get engagement or whatever, and we think it's not working. But then when I reach out to people, here comes Jen. When I reach out to people, they're like, "Hey, Brian, I love your stuff. I've been following it every day. I've actually been working out more since you've been posting. Keep it up." And then I had another person say, "I've been meaning to reach out to you. I need to talk to you about my program." So sometimes we don't get the feedback that we commonly would see, like the amount of likes or comments or whatever. Sometimes people are just in the back, behind the scenes, just watching, right? And then when you stop, you are no longer in their attention anymore, right? So there is something to it, right? So we're going to discuss that today. What I'll do is we'll do a quick, like, we're just going to get settled and grounded for a minute, because before I ask you the questions, I want us, the best of our ability, to answer the questions from that higher version of you, that 3.0 CEO version of you, not the version of you that gets triggered by anything else related to content. So if you feel yourself getting activated by anything, just take a couple more breaths, just calm down. We're looking to access the facts and the data and the information that is going to help us build on this aspect of our business. Um, so just to get started, just we're gonna do this really quick. Hand on the abdomen, hand on the heart. You can have eyes open, eyes closed, whatever. Noticing your feet on the ground. Take a deep breath in. Fill everything up and let it go. It'll take at least 3 times to notice a little bit of a shift in your energy. Breathe in again and let it go. And again, breathe in, let it go. And breathe in and hold. And let it go. And one more time, breathe in and hold. And let it go. Okay. So just take a moment to just kind of feel that and get centered and get intentional around accessing the information you need about content that's going to help improve your visibility, your connections, your communication, whatever it is. We're just looking for the data points, the things that are going to help us build on what we're doing with our expansion and our visibility. So I'm going to give you three questions, and you're going to note them. They kind of blend together, so we can't really like ask them one at a time. So we're going to give you the questions. Then you can start making notes wherever you want in those questions, but then we're going to discuss them one at a time. So let me just get my notes to make sure I have everything here for you. Question one around content is the main heading is what's working. Okay. The bullet points might be also what's working in, like, say, the cadence, the type of post, the content type. One thing we also wanted to invite you to do, if you have access to it, not necessarily right now, but inside the call, just give yourself a minute to think about in the last month or so, what has been your best post, right? Let's look at what actually people are seeing and getting excited about and supporting you on, right? So, what is working? That's the first question. The second question is, what is your biggest challenge with content? Okay, there's no sub questions to that, just what is your biggest challenge? And the third is, how is your content strategy impacting your business, whether it's working or not working? Do you need to do it in a way? Do you need to do it in the way you're doing it right now, as an example, too? Like, is it taking too much time? Is it, you know, um, just your strategy, how it's working, how you're doing it? How is it impacting your business? Is it generating opportunities, connections, leads, sales, offers? Is it kind of like crickets, right? What is it? So, three questions. What is working? What is your biggest challenge? And how is your content strategy impacting your business, whether it be good or bad, or both? So take a moment just to make a couple quick notes, and then we'll open up the first part, and we'll see where what comes up for us here. So
Sorry, can you repeat what the third question was again?
the third question is, what is the impact that your content strategy, what your content strategy, what is the impact it's having on your business? Like, is it impacting it positively? Is it not impacting it at all? Whatever it is, right? And sometimes you might not know the answer right away, then take a couple breaths again. Just calm down, take a couple breaths, let it come through you. And whoever has anything that they would like to share on the first question of what's working, just put your hand up and we can start the conversation. Okay, Rain, what do you got?
Okay, I don't have a lot to share here because I don't actually share a great deal of content at this time. But something
Okay.
I've noticed is when I post, I use LinkedIn more often than anything else.
Yeah.
And when I post or repost um, content on like Saturdays, I get ridiculous amounts of like views and like way more engagement than I normally do. Like if I repost something or if I post something on like a Wednesday, I might get 10 or 15 views, but on the weekend I get 50 or more.
Oh, wow. That's crazy for
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, yeah, I know
Yeah.
because it's supposed to be a business, like it's supposed to be a job thing, but like yeah,
Yeah.
it's the when I go back and I'm yeah, it's Saturdays are the days that I get way more engagement out of the posts, which is I'm like, what am I going to put on Saturdays
Yeah.
that people are
Yeah.
going to look at then? We're like,
I love that. That's already like a golden nugget. Like I never would have thought to post on LinkedIn on Saturday.
Oh, that is
I'm gonna try that this Saturday.
that is the case actually for me as well on Instagram. Not on LinkedIn, but on
Yeah.
Instagram. I get way more views when I post on Saturday or Sunday, especially like in my stories, especially than I do during the week.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's
Mhm.
good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like when am I normally scrolling? That's when I should probably be posting because other people are probably scrolling that time too.
yeah, yeah, makes sense, right? Like people are taking the time to like they're giving themselves. This is my like I get to hang out on the forum time, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
and the
That's
rest of
good.
the time they're being very disciplined about not
Yeah.
What,
All right.
sorry, what time do you post on Saturday?
generally early in the morning actually. So
Okay.
like um when we would do our Saturday deep work calls when we have them
Okay.
around that time um and probably no later than 11 a.m. for like in my time zone but like usually yeah because my Saturdays when I'm doing other stuff my day starts like I start doing the things of getting out of the house and like feed the kids and go and do more things around 11 a.m. So any posting that I do would be before then.
And
Yep.
what is your time zone?
I'm in the Pacific time zone.
Okay.
And I've got lots and lots of people in my LinkedIn ecology that are also in BC with me.
Okay.
But like yeah, like I said, sometimes when we're on the Saturday calls, you know, like if my LinkedIn reaching out time is happening during that work, then like I would be posting during that period as well.
Awesome. Good stuff. Who else has something to share on what's working? Sharlina.
Well, I hardly have any content out there at all. So, but I did notice that my reel on YouTube was way beyond what I expected. One single reel hit so many people.
Nice. How long is
It
it?
was less than a minute, I think, maybe.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Um, and then on Instagram was the carousel. That was the second best one. Not a lot. YouTube reel was great, but yeah, that's all I got because I don't have much content.
Okay.
Hey, that's good though. And you want to be on YouTube this year, so that's awesome. And you're posting it as a short, right?
Hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yes, shorts. Yeah, thank you.
Good to know because that's our other platform too for the podcast, right?
Right.
Is YouTube. That's good. Who
Awesome.
else?
Sharing.
Um, so I just started posting on LinkedIn for about a month now,
Yeah.
three days a week.
Nice.
Um, I would say consistency. I am getting some likes, one or two comments, but my I this month I'm going to try something a bit different. Like I was so to increase engagement, and that is to ask a question at the end of my content to get engagement or to get some feedback. I'm going to
Yeah.
see if that works. And also, yeah, I'm going to see if that works. I know that's not what's working, but I'm just telling you, I don't think I've been posting long enough to. I've been posting long enough to see maybe something, but And I'm going to be hard on myself. It's only been a month, so I'm
Yeah.
testing right now. I'm really testing to see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, for example, this week, this was week one of my March challenge, and I just filmed what I'm gonna post today. But the first one, I believe, was the Monday one where I did the carousel, and I went back to our very first retreat and told a little kind of a story through slides and music. That one has done over 1,500 views. The one the next day, I think it was another video. Um, it's around 200 or something, right? It's just good to have the metrics, right? It's not the only metric, but I'm just curious of like what is showing. And I find with the carousel, I think what I've learned is that the carousel is autumn. Humans just want to touch things, right? You see the dots at the bottom, and you just like mindlessly just want to like.
That's true. That's so true.
So
Is
I
is
think
that sorry? Is that in Facebook or
that's an Instagram.
Instagram? Okay.
I'm a sucker for so um, definitely carousels for sure on Instagram. But I'm curious now because I kind of went on a hiatus. I joke to Jody that like I'm like Shania Twain. I lost my voice or something. So I just have not been inspired to share, but I think I have something now. So I'm in the data gathering phase myself of what's working. What is working actually with Jody and I right now is collaborations. So if I don't post anything and she sends something to me to collaborate, I just accept, and like we're at least there's content going through. What has worked in the past too is there's tons. One podcast episode could produce so many 30, 60 second, clips. It takes work to do those things sometimes, and that I don't always have time to do. That's worked. And I just found heartfelt shares. Like I share something, it may not be relevant to my business, but when I share a heartfelt thing on Facebook about my son's like something happening with his hockey team or whatever, it's traffic, right? And it's also a way to get people get to know me as a dad, as a hockey dad, as a father, as a someone in this community space. There's other things that you know that build trust to the people that are in your audience is they know you as a person, right? So if I have something that I'm actually inspired to share from the heart, it does really well, right? So that's something important too, that it's not always like you're not always selling something or pitching something. It's a bit of you in there that people want to learn about, right? So um, let's get one more. Anything else anyone want to share on what's working?
Yeah, I'll share.
Yeah,
Good morning,
yeah,
everybody. So what works for me is I share my personal stories, my personal wins, my losses, my challenges, whatever I'm thinking in the moment, um, and my messaging for business. And so they work pretty well. People resonate when you are, like you said, speaking from your heart, and
yeah.
they can feel it. They can they can understand it and they resonate with it. So that's where I get my most. I get a lot of likes and different things like that, but the challenge, I know we're not quite there yet. The challenge is that I'm not getting a lot of engagement. So I think I'm sharing a lot, I'm giving a lot, and it's resonating, but then there's no like further conversation.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, we can definitely, that's a good segue into the challenges.
Before we do that, I just want
Yeah.
to ask something else. So just in terms of what's working, you guys, one thing that I wanted to just throw out there is this piece about the cadence and a little bit about the sort of system you guys are using. So excuse me. So When I say the cadence, I mean like, are you, like Rochelle said, she's posting 3 times a week. That's her cadence. That's what she's doing. That's what she's committed to. So one question, like, because one thing that can come up with on the challenge side is that you're trying to post, 7 days a week, or you're trying to post on all the platforms, and then all of a sudden you're overwhelmed and you can't do it. So in terms of the cadence, is everybody in a place where they're committed to X number of posts a week and you're feeling good about that? Does everyone kind of know what their own cadence is? Okay, if you don't, it's okay.
Yeah.
No.
Mine is,
Not
I'll share
really.
mine. So what I do is if I have a post that's really well and people are still responding like the next day, I'll let that post ride. And then once it starts to settle down, then I'll post again.
Okay.
So that's something that I learned.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like that. That's a great tip.
Yeah.
I think too, like everyone should have a goal for how many posts a week you're doing. And it doesn't have to be so rigid. I like the idea of having it flow. Like if one is doing well, let it ride and stuff like that. I usually like to also have some that I know what I'm going to talk about, and then I leave room to do the ones where I'm just going to pop in because something's happening in the moment and I want to share it, type of thing. But I think everybody, when you guys are creating your content plans, you should all be committed to a certain number of posts per week, and there can be some like flexibility within the week, but keeping to a cadence that is going to be consistent for you. Right? So that's one recommendation that I would have. If it's twice a week, 3 times a week, 4, 6, whatever, cool. Like Brian and I looked at this guy who's really amazing at Instagram, crazy audience, tons of views, multi-million-dollar business. And he's talking about posting 14 times a week, like 2 reels a day. And for us, we're just like, we're not doing that. Like that's just not happening. So, we were like, okay, we can do 5. Let's do 5 a week, right? And let's, whatever it is, doesn't have to be Monday to Friday. We could miss a day within the week or whatever, but it's 5 a week. And that way there's a little bit more like space, right? And once we get used to that, if we feel like we can do more, we'll start to add stuff. But I'm not going to go and commit to doing 2 a day. It's just not happening. Right? For me, that's so
Somebody who's posting like 14 times a week has probably got a team supporting them
yeah,
for that. Yeah,
100%
like
he does.
Yeah.
No doubt he does, 100%. And that's his game, right? That's what he teaches, is to build your business through content. Right? So everyone has a different angle and all that stuff, and that's cool. But for me, that just feels like too much. And so I'm not going to pretend that I'm going to do that. I'm just not, right? I'm just deciding I'm not doing 14, I'm doing 5. And 5 feels like enough right now. Right? And even like, I'm sure a bunch of you guys have heard me say this before, like a few years ago, I ditched Instagram entirely. I didn't even touch it. Like I was on Facebook. That's the only place I was, not YouTube, not, excuse me, not link, not nothing, just Facebook. And at the time, that's what I could handle. I had a Facebook group. I had 2,000 people in there. I was in there regularly, posting, going live, doing all the things. And that was working for me. And I didn't need to do anything else. So that's the other thing that we want to make a decision about. Like, where am I posting? Do you guys have one platform that you're going to focus on? Cool. If you're really good at video, like maybe you're doing YouTube, maybe you're doing Instagram, but you're doing more lives or more talking head reels or things like that, right? If you really like the writing part, maybe you're a LinkedIn person. Maybe, do you know what I mean? So I think there's some of these like micro decisions to make. So one is, what is the cadence that you're committed to? How many times a week are you going to post? One is, where, like, what's the platform, right? Is it one? And if it's one, it's cool. Just like double down and do the one, make it work. Get consistent, run the cadence on the one platform, you know? Um, and then just your sort of system or method of getting it done. Right? Like, are you someone who's going to create all of your content on a Monday and do it all at the same time? Are you going to know what topics you're going to cover for the week, but you're actually going to write them the day of, like in the morning? That's the first thing you do, right? Like, what's your system for getting it done? So that's the other thing that I would, if you don't have it already, I would consciously just be trying to figure out what that is and what works for you. And there's a million different ways that you could do it. But when you find a system that's good, like for me, usually what I like to do is at the beginning of the month, I create my content planner and I know what the topics are going to be, but I usually don't create until the day of. Like I don't actually do it until that morning. Right. But I like to start early and, maybe that's the first thing that I'm doing. Brian's doing his first thing in the morning these days as well. I'm creating in the moment. I'm not creating them a week or a month ahead of time. Right. And in the past, I might have said to create them a week or a month ahead of time, but that's just not what's happening, at least for me. So that's the other piece. So the cadence, when you're posting, where you're posting, and the system that you're using to get it done. Does that help? A couple of things to think about.
Yeah, just by saying that, I wrote down, when I'm consistent doing this, what my system is, and I definitely can't write stuff in advance, but I create a list. So on Sunday night when I'm planning my week, I write down like Monday to Friday, and I go, well, Monday, this would be probably a good thing to post on Monday. I make a note to myself, and then when I go to prepare it, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm not thinking about something on the spot. And then once that gets posted, this is probably the way to continue that conversation or whatever on Tuesday, and it just kind of unfolds. But I have it listed there as a prompt. So I list prompts for the week. That's the first thing. The second thing is a pattern. If I don't post something by like 11 or noon, the quality is going to get worse as the day goes on. Okay. So I'm better in the morning. So there's a pattern to when I post. The third is a theme. I like having a theme or something to follow or a series that I create. So our topic right now is the retreat this week, and retreats and some of the things we're discussing in the retreat. Like I'm sharing some of that stuff. So it's just easy to kind of like prompt topics. It has to be fun. I have to enjoy what I'm sharing is another thing. And the fifth one, which is interesting, because I actually want to post on the three, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook, but eventually also the YouTube. But what I do, because that sounds really overwhelming, what I do is like I'm going to start with Instagram, and then whatever I create there, I'm going to just repurpose, and then it's going to get shared to Facebook. I'm going to modify it for LinkedIn, and eventually, if it's a YouTube one, I'll drop something in YouTube. But I just repurposing stuff but I got to start with one of the platforms, and I'm consistently starting with Instagram first, and then I span up from there. It's actually sharing it out is actually not that bad, and I'm touching all three of those platforms.
Yeah.
Yes,
Good.
Sharlina.
So okay, so this is part of the challenges, but we've kind of been talking about it already.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going in.
For me, it's like I'm getting really frustrated with Instagram and Facebook for my own personal like scrolling, because all I see is sponsored. I don't see anybody. It's very rare. Like maybe 1 out of every 10 posts I see is from somebody that I'm actually following. So that pisses me off. And it's like, I don't really want to post anything on there because who's going to actually freaking see it? So I'm curious as to why you guys are wanting to use Instagram. Please change my mind about it.
I can jump in.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a few things. I think one thing is for me, when I meet people, for the most part, they want Instagram. Most of them are on Instagram. So even though it's not getting organically seen like that, I know when I meet someone, usually they ask me for my business card. I'm like, I don't have one, but you can follow me on Instagram. And most people have it and it's easy. And they're like, yeah, cool. So that's like one place where that's sort of the norm for the people that I am meeting. That's where they are.
I can
But then
second that too.
Yeah. Okay.
A
But
lot
then
of people moved off of Facebook because it felt too political,
Yeah.
or they
Yeah.
didn't like the algorithm, but Instagram still feels fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Sho?
I forgot. Sorry, one sec.
Come back.
Okay, so then if they're not seeing your posts, Are you hitting DMs in Instagram? Is that what you're okay?
Okay, so that's the second piece, and I want to share that. So, in our Facebook strategy, and it's going to be the same in Instagram the more we're getting into it, we typically would post, like, for example, you guys, everybody knows what I mean when I say a big post. Like one of the posts where you say, like, oh, I just created this brand new PDF title XYZ. Who wants it? Drop a DM below. You guys have all seen those types of posts. So, for example, in our Facebook group, when we used to have it, we're not really running it right now, but in the Facebook group, we used to post something like that. But I wasn't waiting for people to see it or engage because I know that they're not seeing it. But we were getting in the DMs, and it was actually a really great way to add value in the DMs. So I'm not trying to sell them something and I'm not trying to ask anything of them. I'm just saying, hey, did you see I posted about this brand new training, this brand new guide, this brand new whatever? Have you seen it? Right. And then it can start a conversation. Maybe you're sending them a link or that kind of stuff, whatever it is. You could also do that for your events. So maybe you post on your social, whichever platform you're using, and you're saying, hey, I'm hosting this brand new workshop on this day at this time. It's about this. Put in the title, put in the date and time, whatever. It's a really great way for you to get in the DMs because you're adding value. Hey, wanted to make sure you didn't miss this. I'm hosting this really cool event. Wanted to make sure you didn't miss this. I just created a brand new guide about X, Y, and Z. Let me know if that resonates with you. If it does, I'll send you the link. So I don't wait because I'm not like I'll get you in one sec. Like my goal in life is not to be a content creator expert like this other guy I was just talking about. That's like, it's not what I want to be doing. I would rather be in DMs and actually talking to people. So that's the way that I use it. I use it as like, it's there for you. If you go to my profile, you can see it. You can see about me. You can see the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. But then I'm going to get into the DMs myself. Does that help? What are you thinking?
Okay, so if I was to post an event that I'm having, yeah, this is another challenge. There are some people, some types of people I don't want in the event. So
Okay.
one, how do I prevent that? Like, what do I do if they'd sign up for it? And two, yeah, I guess I would just direct message the people that I do want on that call. But what do I do about the people that I don't want on that call?
I mean, when I think about that stuff, I kind of go like, what are the numbers, right? Is it one or two people that may or may not see it and may or may not jump in? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm probably not going to worry about it too much. And like, chances are, if you don't message them, like, they may not see it at all. You know what I mean? And then are they going to sign up? Like, so it's like, I don't want to not post for all the people who might see and all the people I could then DM, even if I don't really know them that well, but they're following me, right? I don't want to not post because one person or two people might sign up.
Okay.
Helena,
Where are you hosting your calls? Where are you hosting your calls?
I'm planning on doing them on Zoom.
On Zoom. Okay. Because like you could, I mean, like I don't know how this I don't know if this would work with like how you share your links, etc. But like you could say in your post, attendance is limited, right? Like number of seats is limited. And then if somebody that you don't like, you know that you don't want to attend the meeting, says that they're interested, you could just say, sorry, ran out of seats and not send them a
Yeah,
link.
I suppose you could do that. I mean, what are the
is it
chances?
is
Go
it
ahead.
sorry.
No, it's okay.
Are they particular people that you know the names of, or are you just talking about like abusive people coming to your like random abusive people coming to
No,
your Zoom?
not random people that I know, but I'm thinking maybe I can just somehow block them from seeing that particular post, I think. I'm just thinking maybe I could. Is that what you were going to suggest, Rochelle?
I was just trying to see if it's a particular person or if it's like a random person, but they're just abusive.
No, not abusive. No, random, not
Okay.
random. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want them there that badly, I'm curious as to why they might join. You know what I mean? Like, would they want to be there either?
Yeah, without saying too much. Yeah, it's yeah.
It's just like I wouldn't want you to hold back or not post or not tell people about it because this one person might show up,
Yeah.
you know? So I would go ahead and do it. And yeah, I think Rain's suggestion is like a little way to kind of get around it. And you could just be like, sorry, it's full.
Okay.
Or what you can do, I know this is kind of wicked, is you can control the people who you can have a waiting room and you just don't let them in.
Yeah. Okay. And also, you can not let this person follow you. Like you can block them
Yeah.
Yeah.
in
But
the
but
first place.
the waiting room is a solution. You just don't let them in.
I mean, you could do that. But like you can just do they need to be following you?
Um,
Like,
yeah, it's not like that situation where I want them off my Facebook. I like because we are kind of friends, but like we know each other. We're more than acquaintances, I would put it that
okay.
way. But
The waiting
Yeah.
room helps, I swear. Like you could just say you had to if I mean if they're complaining that they couldn't get in, you could just say, yeah, we're having technical difficulties or whatever. Like you don't really have to do anything. You just don't let them in.
And they wouldn't even have the link to the Zoom anyways. Because all they'd be doing is saying, yeah, I want to come.
okay, yeah.
Right? Because it's like when they say they want to come, then you're going to send the link. So you don't even
Yeah.
send the link at all. You could just
Correct.
literally say, sorry, it's full, or sorry, it's for people who da da da, and that doesn't fit who they are. Like,
Mm.
do you know what I mean? So I don't think you have to, you can just not give them the link.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
if you're doing it that way in terms of if you want to show up, DM me and I'll send you the link.
Mhm.
But for those who are like myself, I don't have people DMing me to show up somewhere. I would just have an event link that they click on and register, right? So if that's the route you're going, I would just not. I would have a waiting room and I just wouldn't let them in.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Just to add to this, because this is one of the three things I put down as like for challenges, is one is self-censorship, right? Like sometimes because of these reasons, we censor, our content or we censor what we're up to, and the people we're censoring for aren't even people we're looking to do business with or interact with or connect with. I've had to learn how to go full steam ahead and just like do what you got to do, and 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 as my one friend said, he was a bit one of my business coaches said, people will sort themselves out, right? Because it's the when we self-censor or give attention to, it's a very small percentage too of our audience, right? Like, why should they control the masses of the people that are there for the right reasons that you're there to serve and exchange with? Why should that person, fuck up the vibe or the energy of what you're up to? Right?
Right.
It's something that for me, I'll admit, it's something for me, especially in the last, my life has changed a lot in the last 2 or 3 years. And there's moments where, especially when it went quiet, it's like, what will so and so think if I post this? And people don't even know Jody, and there's a picture of us there together, and there's all these different stories I have in my head. And like you said, half the time, no one sees shit. Like I might as well just get used to living my life, right? And I think as it'll start to unfold more, as I start to share even more freely, my content's just gonna be better, and you'll start attracting the people that you need to have in that space, rather than censoring for the 1 or 2% of people that don't even know how you're feeling about the whole thing too, right? It's so much energy is being sort of leaked to that empty container, which
Absolutely.
is serving you nothing, right? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Thank you.
yeah,
Mhm.
Who else? Thanks, Joe. Those are great like topics to be talking about.
really good. Yeah.
Who else has something that's challenging that sorry, that's challenging them with their content? whether it's creating it, whether it's deciding what to do. No problem, right?
I wanted to jump in here.
Yeah.
So first, Shalina, I wanted to tell you, I had to block someone who's very special to me because their energy was just not working with mine, especially with where I'm trying to go. And that person's energy was tainting mine.
Yeah.
So it was best that I block this person from even seeing what I'm doing. So I could be comfortable showing up in the way that I needed to. So whoever you don't want to see your things, there's a reason why you don't want them to see your post or see what you're doing. And so that's maybe something that you might have to question about the relationship. But if you don't want them seeing what you're doing, like block them until you're ready to have the conversation as to why you don't even want them around your energy. It's okay. Like you totally have to protect yourself. You're trying to build a business. And that was the reality that I had to come to in my own situation. I'm trying to build something. I can't be worrying about what this person is going to think or what they're going to say on a post or how they're going to make me feel. No, block. Like you're cut off.
Yep.
And it was the most painful thing that I've had to do, but I did it. So that was just that. Brian, what you were saying, like as far as the tone sometimes of my posts, I struggle with, all right, do I want to stay in my poetic lane because that's comfortable? It's kind of like how I like to write anyway. Or do I want to lean towards more authority leadership role? Like, hey, you need to do this. You know what I mean? So what I'm thinking is like just finding a balance in between the two. So I'm going to reach those who like my poetic version and like my niceties and all those things. And then, you know, talking to the people who need me to be a little bit more direct, a little bit more in your face. This is what you need to do. So that I'm learning that balance. Being consistent. Sometimes the way I feel, one week I'm like, hey, let's go, I'm ready to talk, I'm ready to interact. And then the next minute I'm like, I'm in isolation, you know. I kind of want to kind of be in my own energy. So working through that balance as well. And getting comfortable on camera. Oh my God. I do want to do videos. Like I want to teach on videos, but I am not comfortable on camera yet. So that's another challenge. I'm just wondering, like, is that going to make a difference if I start to like do more reels and different things like that? So yeah, I'm working through that one on my own.
Yeah. I think the great thing with video too, and I had to discover this myself, was I don't film great video like in this box, right? My best video content has been, and the one I filmed today. I went on my walked to the top of the hill, took a couple breaths, and just selfie in the camera, and that's how I do my best stuff. Usually one take, right? When I do something with a tripod or something, it's like 100 takes for 30 seconds of content, right? So it's really suboptimal. So find your zone or your environment that's naturally you, that allows you to feel free. Take a couple breaths and just go for it. And it's gonna be the most authentic version of you, right? It doesn't always have to be boxed in and formal, right? I found that I kind of like jive more with people that post a little bit kind of like on the fly, like just after a workout, completely sweating, right? It has that human sort of connection touch to it, right? So just some things to experiment in your environment just to help you feel comfortable.
I want to jump
Yeah,
in.
I actually I had started posting outside like earlier September, maybe August, September. It was still warm outside, and that felt better than me trying to post in here in my office. So now I'm like, all right, it's starting to get warmer outside. I can go outside and sit out there. And you know, it feels more natural. Like you said, in here it feels so stoic and you know, I gotta be on.
Yeah.
That's
good.
Sorry. I was gonna jump ahead to a tip and now it left my brain. But okay, yeah, this is it. Is that when you are Okay, two things actually. One is one coach told me who she's a content person. She helps influencers build their businesses and their brands and whatever. And one of the things that she gave me was do the same post type for like a week or a month at a time, as in like do all carousels, do all reels, do all still images, do all talking heads, whatever. And that helped me just feel less overwhelmed about which ones I need to do. So that was helpful. And also, the doing on the fly stuff, getting stuck on the camera. I'm also not good when I feel like I have to do it perfectly, like pre-recorded videos for my content. Like I'm not good at that, but I'm really good at just going live, like off the cuff, no problem. So one tip that she gave me was on Instagram was to go into stories because those are easy for me. I can just pop in whenever, sweaty after a workout or who cares, and do the story and then save the story and repost it as a reel like the next day. Because for me, mentally, for whatever reason, when I think about I have to create a reel and I have to have the exact words and I have to be in this lighting and all that nonsense, it's hi Mel. It's way easier for me to just go live on my story quickly. And if I get engagement, if it turns out well, then I literally just save the story and I post it as a reel the next day. And that's been awesome because it's like repurposing and I'm not having to create it again, and I'm actually getting reels done instead of like sitting around thinking about like what's the best hook for my reel. Like I don't care, I'm just going to do it. So the tip is just for you guys, one is to know you can repurpose in that way, and two is just to know like what feels easy for you. Like if you're good at jumping on live, then do it. If you're good at, your creative Kia is killer, like Shalina, you guys are amazing at creating the graphics. Like for me, I'm terrible at it, but you guys are wicked at it. So if that's what feels comfortable to you, then that's what you do. You know what I mean? Without worrying about like, I have to mix up the styles and I have to la la la. No, we're not doing that.
One more thing to share in the challenges before we go into the impact was um, to share with Jody. Jody was there for this. When I decided, like last week, we were in a meeting and I went through all of my platforms and I went, okay, let's go for February. How many times did I post in all these platforms for February? YouTube was 0, like LinkedIn was maybe 1 or 2. I was like, this is awful. This is not even close to the minimum standard. There's no way anyone's going to know what I'm up to, right? So I decided I was going to ramp it up. When I looked at it, it was like 5 to 7x output in content, and then I got to come up with stuff. And so on Monday, that for that carousel, that was like just thinking about it that morning caused all kinds of resistance. I was like freaking out. I was like, I was avoiding things. I was like, we haven't had chips in the house in 3 weeks, and I was looking for chips in the cupboard. Like there was no chips, but I looked anyways, right? So like I was just like literally finding stuff to do that wasn't making content. Then eventually I settled down and I came up with this idea with the carousel, right? So when we come up with, because I'm saying this because it's like kind of like I want to introduce challenge at some point, but I challenge myself to ramp it up. And it's anywhere where you find resistance, right? It's just finding a way. What is the next easy step, right? And for me, it was okay. Let me just scale this back a little bit. I know I want to do a carousel. I could put up to 20 photos, but instead of getting overwhelmed with my camera reel, let's create a small little storyline first. Think of the pictures that I would share for those things and like sort of like before I dive into the technical part of it, right? So I managed to get that done, but it took a little while. So if you decide you want to ramp up what you're doing, expect there's going to be a little bit of or a lot of resistance on day one, but still do it. Find a way to just do it because you're going to get more resilient, stronger, more inspired, more creative, and then it's going to start flowing again. It's available to you. You can access that version of you again, right? It's just when you're off for a while. It's like if you haven't sold in a while or made a high ticket offer in a while. It's like the muscle atrophies, right? So, but to get back in there, just don't quit. Make sure you post on day one, even if it's just one of those ones with a purple background. It's just like 3 words or something. Like post something, just break the ice and get back in there, and you'll find the flow will unlock, right? So that's my last bit about challenges.
That's so
For
good. I want
me,
to sorry.
sorry.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Jody.
It's okay, you go.
For me, I'm kind of the opposite of you in terms of creating content. Like I find that doing it in bulk and planning ahead works for me because I'm not a person that can do this every day, like content creation every day. I work ahead, and I know in my field anyways, there's themes to different seasons and months.
Yeah.
So I know what I can kind of gauge the kind of content that I want to create for that particular month, right? Like this month is it's International Women's Day. That's my demographic is women, right? And also tax season. So that's what I'm focusing on this month, right?
Right.
So I was able to like I mentioned before, I'm like I know it's a lot of work, but I pretty much did content for the next 2 months, right?
You're my hero.
And last night I did all the images for this month's post, like matching posts. So I don't have to, it's out of the way. I don't have to think about it. I cut and paste everything into my Google Calendar. And on that day, I literally cut and paste it into LinkedIn and it's done. I don't have to think about it because I have 10,000 other things I have to think about. And
Yeah.
it just takes away the stress of worrying about what I have to post.
Totally.
That's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for you. And for some people, that's going to work really well. And I like the fact that you brought up the idea of the themes and stuff, because that's a really important one because you guys can kind of dial into that, like whatever's going on in the world, right? International Women's Day, maybe it's an anniversary, a Mother's Day, a Father's Day, whatever the day is, right? You guys can even look up those calendars that have those every day is something. Excuse me, and really use that to build your content if it applies. So I love that, Rochelle. That's really awesome for you.
Right.
What I thought we could do now, guys, is I want to go back now. We've had a bit of discussion to number 3, and let's take a few minutes to really think about what's been happening so far in your content strategy. Maybe it's the challenges, maybe it's the things that are working. Like, how is it impacting your business? And then the next step is think about your 3.0 version of yourself that Brian always talks about. If you were already in the place where you want to be in your business, what would you do differently? Right? Maybe and also what would you do more of that's working? So let's take a few minutes to just make some notes, do a quick journal. How is your content strategy, your current content strategy affecting your business? And it could be things about you're holding back, you're not posting enough, you're not planning ahead, you're whatever. How is that affecting the business? And then let's switch to your higher self, your 3.0, and go, okay, if I was already exactly where I needed to be and this was working exactly how I wanted, what's like one thing that I would change, do more of, stop doing, start doing, those kinds of questions. Cool? Let's take a few minutes to do that. Let us know when you're ready. And then we can jump back in. And I want to just finish up with some best practices, reminders of what we've already talked about, and maybe a couple others. Is anybody ready with their one thing they're going to do differently? No rush if you're not. Yeah, show you ready?
Yeah. Excuse me. It's not just one thing because I don't have a lot of content, right? So first thing is to have a plan. Love that. And then I think for me, doing the videos all in one day and have at least 1 month available, 1 month of content available. I really like the theme idea
Great.
because when you're talking about the same, like I don't have to come up with something new each time. I can just do like 4 or 5 videos on the same theme.
Yes.
It'll be really good. And then pop-up content when I'm like really feeling something and I need to share it because that energy will come through, right?
Yes.
And then I wrote down here, have 0 fucks.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Okay, Lolita, have a great day. Okay, I love those show. Those are all awesome. And the way you just said that, like, click for me something too, like 5 videos about the same thing. That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Write that down.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Who else? One thing that you're going to do differently, change, more of, less of, not at all, whatever.
I'm gonna pick a cadence.
Yeah. Okay, what is the cadence?
Yeah, I'm gonna define the cadence, and I think choose like themes for the number of days I'm gonna post. Choose a theme that I want to plan to post on,
Great.
so that I have a direction to be moving in when I'm trying to create content.
Yeah, beautiful. Also, like this, like a side note, when you guys are promoting to open up your programs, like your programs may be open all the time, rolling enrollment, but at certain points in time, you're going to have like a bit of a push, right, to get people in. And when you do that, your content can be focused on that stuff. And maybe you're going to share even more testimonials, or maybe you're going to do lives with your clients or your previous, people that you've worked with in some way. Like, so you can also use what's happening in your promotional calendar to help you with those themes. Okay, cool, Rain. Thank you. Who else?
I would say planning, and I have a hard time promoting myself.
Okay.
I find it easier, like I'm always promoting and, trying to encourage other people, that it's hard for me to be like, hey, it's not easy. That is not an easy thing for me. Even though like I'm promoting my journal right now. And I had a whole, like, because we're in this group, I'm just gonna be honest, right? I promoted it. I got great feedback. The next day, my nervous system was frantic. Like I was down. Like, why am I, like, why? So there's this it's like a difficulty there with, like, my 3.0 self would be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Let's go. You need this. You know what I mean? My 2.0 is like, girl, what is you doing? Like, that's really how I was talking
That's
back.
exactly
Like,
it.
like, what
That's
are
exactly
you doing?
it.
What are the people thinking? Like, oh my God, are they gonna buy? Or are they gonna do this? And just totally frantic. Like, I had to get myself together. Like, what in the world? But what I realized is that's feedback. Like, it's just telling me, all right, I need you to see where you are with this, so we can work on this part, because you've done a whole lot of work on the other end, right? Now it's this being confident in who you are and what you have and what you're offering, to where it doesn't feel funny or feel wrong to like put yourself out on blast in front of everybody. Like, it's easy to talk about all the hardship, right? Right, but it's difficult for me to talk about the good things. And then unfortunately, like, there's a lot of good things that have happened in my life, but because I feel like I haven't always got the applause or got the celebration for the good things, it's like harder to talk about those. I kind of keep those things to myself versus the hardship. Well, we can all resonate with hardship, and that's easy. But getting over, like you said, having 0 fucks about what people think or whatever the case may be, and like do what you're out here to do. Do what your purpose is to do.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. The second thing about strategy, planning,
Okay.
and probably DMing more.
Okay.
That's another like, ooh, child. You know what I mean? You over here bothering people and they DMs. My 2.0 self is like, girl, they don't want to talk to you. Like, if they wanted to talk to you, they would have reached out to you.
No,
No.
But the funny thing, no, I know.
not
The
true.
funny thing
No.
is, I know the funny thing is when I was DMing, one person was like, yeah, I wanted to reach out to you, but I didn't know what to say. And I'm like, every day I'm like, reach out to me. You don't understand.
Yeah, but it's scary.
Right. But the other part of that is, I know we all do different things, but when you are talking to people about healing, it's very vulnerable and it's very like, well, I don't really want people to know everything that I'm going through. Or even when I'm posting, even though I get the likes, I don't get the engagement, but who wants 100 people in their business knowing what they're going through? So I kind of look at it that way as well. But there's a part of me that was like, man, I just wish they would reach out to me. Like I'm throwing you all the messages to talk to me, reach out to me. This is what I do. Come and talk to me. Come and talk to me. Come and talk to me.
Yeah, but it's, you have to like reframe it. It's not an ask. You're not asking them to come and talk to you. You are going to go in when you have value to add. So that value when you're DMing them is either saying, hey, I have this brand. I see you've been engaging. You've been liking some of my posts. I'm actually hosting this brand new training, workshop, webinar, whatever the hell you want to call it. You know, if you're interested, I'd love to have you. Right? Let me know. I'll send you the details.
Here's what I see what happens. When I do that, people back off. Okay. So it hasn't worked in my favor. When I start to, you know, even if they reach out to me first and I start to give them help or we start to have the healing conversations, I think it gets heavy for people and they tend to back off.
But have you tried reaching out to invite them to something or to give them a free resource yet?
Yes. I've given out free ebooks that I've written. So and there's still that it's not converting.
But what's happening, right? Are you like, what's the context? What does the message say? Like, there's a lot of nuance here, right?
Yeah.
So it could be the difference of being like, hey, I saw you interacted on my post. I'm sending you this guide. Here's the link. And then people are like, whoa, wait a second, right? That could be different to someone than saying, hey, noticed you engaged on that post. Like, what was your favorite thing about it? Or what resonated with you? Like, so there can be nuance in the way that you're doing it. And then the other question I'm always going to say is like, what are the numbers? Like, if you're going to tell me that you reached out to 10 people and no one replied to you, I'm going to be like, well,
no, they reply, but they reply. Yeah, they do reply. However, I just feel like healing is one of those things like you're either ready or you're trying to get ready or you're not. You want to talk about it, but you don't. And when it gets vulnerable and when it gets open and when it's really time to like dig in, there's a fallback. And I get it. Like I totally get it. You know what I mean?
What is happening when you are offering something that adds value, like a workshop or a
PDF? I have sent out like 20 ebooks. Half the people ain't open them, they don't read them.
But when you sent them, like this is the details, right? These are the details. Like when you sent it, what was the way that it got sent? Like what was the content?
I posted if you want the free ebook, DM me or say the word.
Yeah.
Did all those things. We reached out, we had conversations, sent the ebook. Next day, hey, let me know what you think about it.
Did you send it with
I can check and I can see who opened the emails. Like, well, why do you have to send it to me if you want? opened it or you requested it, but you're not
Okay,
following through.
so you posted, they DM and said, yeah, I want it, and then you sent it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so you
Yeah.
so you sent, and then what? They didn't reply?
No, I sent it. I said,
Then
hey,
what
like
happened?
after, yeah, so after a day or so, I go back in like, hey, did you like the email or did you like the ebook or resonated with you? Or it's, yeah, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. You asked for it, but I didn't volunteer it to you now. You
Okay.
asked for it.
Okay. So if you're following up, sometimes the next day might be too quick, for example. So maybe you follow up 2 or 3 days later, give them a little bit more time. Or if they say like, yeah, I'll get to it, then you might just ask them a question. Like what made you interested in this in the first place? What was the number one reason that you wanted it?
Yeah,
Like
that's good. I don't know. I ain't got time. I mean, the way I feel about it, Jody, is I don't have time to be chasing you about your healing. Like for me, my personality is like you either want this or you don't. I'm not going to chase you about your life.
yeah.
I'm not willing to do that. I'm out here and I'm in the open and I'm saying like, hey, I will work all day with people who are ready to work. My energy is not set up to be chasing you about
That's a
your
good
life.
post. That's a good post.
That's fair. And that is a good post.
I said that in so many words. Like if people like it, they know. But like I said, healing is one of those things where it's not you're trying to build a business, like you got that life. When
Totally.
you're trying to build a business, you about that work. You've already decided that's what you're doing. Healing is just, it's a little different, and I understand it. And that's why I just keep feeding the audience, showing up in the best way that I can, with the understanding that, yeah, this is, digging into your personal life is something that the person has to want to do. There is nothing that I can say. There's nothing that I can do to make you change your mind or say, finally you're going to give in. That's how I feel about it.
Do you have a particular niche?
Do I have a niche? My niche is healing, health, and happiness.
Mm-hmm.
But a particular.
It is aligning the Shiro within. Shameless plug.
I think, Kia, it could be just the post that I've seen, but for me, your posts don't speak the way that you just did.
Yeah, like that.
It doesn't.
They are much softer. They are
That's
much more, right? So I'm just saying, if you want people who are going to take action, who are ready, who are going to jump in, who are like, F this nonsense, I'm done with this stuff, I'm ready, you need to show up that way. And if you don't, you're going to get people who are like, well, maybe kind of, I'm scared, but
Listen, give me the recording of this so I can put it.
We're recording.
I'm just saying, guys, however you show up is how your people show back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're gonna be all like I know there's a soft side to you, and that's cool, but also I need to see the version of you that's this right now.
Okay.
I need you to see literally in your post. You need to say, guys, this is the thing that could change your freaking life. So if you are ready to take action, don't DM me unless you want this and you're going to do something about it.
I feel that energy, Jody. You know what? And I think I had to get there, though. That's why I'm able to even verbalize that right now. I had to get to the point where I'm giving out all this good information and y'all not doing nothing with it, right? I think about this scripture that says, don't cast your pearls among swine. Like you're not doing anything with the information that I'm giving you. Don't waste my time because I'm not going to waste your time.
Like I'm not available for that.
No, and I'm not. And so I even cut back on giving out all of that energy because, again, it has to be reciprocated. It has to be given back. And so what I'm creating is something that even in my group,
Yeah.
like even in my group, I have people that interact in the group, but understand like what you're here for. Understand what I'm here for. I'm not going to waste anybody's time, because guess what? My energy by myself likes to be by myself. You know what I mean? Like I could easily be over here healed, healthy, and happy by
Right.
my damn self. You know what I mean? But I know that there is a bigger purpose and a bigger calling, and I'm following that. You know what, Tony? Okay, I got you.
You see it. Use your like projector stuff. Be like, guys, I don't have the bandwidth to be like doing all the things. I want to work with the people who are ready, who know there's something more, who want change, and we're gonna do the work. So where are you? If that sounds like you, comment whatever below. I'm gonna send you this training.
There you go. I got you, Jody. All right. Don't challenge me. Don't threaten me with a good time, because all right now. No.
Yeah. I got that energy for you if you bring it out in me. So
I love it. Come on, Jody. That's that Scorpio energy. Let's go.
All right.
I got you.
All right, we've got some hands up. Michelle, I know I'm sorry. I kind of jumped in on you. Go ahead, and then we'll get to Mel.
Completely forgot what I was gonna say, but for myself, oh God.
It's okay.
What was the question that we were answering again? I completely forgot what the question was.
We were talking about how your content strategy is impacting your business. That's where we started.
Oh, what I would do differently. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna add one line at the bottom for engagement.
BTA, beautiful. Yes.
And like a question at the end of my post.
Okay.
And see if that gets more engagement.
Yeah,
and then for people who comment, I'll comment back, or well, I'll start commenting back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'll do.
Beautiful. Okay, Mel, where are you?
Okay. So, oh my gosh, I had so much to say. And then with Kia as well. Oh my gosh, Kia, you're not alone. And it's so nice to see you on here. Like, hear you. And
so nice to see you.
Yeah. And feel you in here. Everything that you're saying, I think we can all resonate with that. I loved what you said about the 2.0 version of you, like not being like, just kind of being triggered, I guess, by like your success, right? Like, because whenever there's any little hit of, going bigger, like our old versions want to like keep us safe, right? So they're like pulling us back. So I experienced that too. So I just started my own container, my very first container. I've been wanting to do this for like years, and I finally did it. And I have 12 people in there. And so I sent out an email for like, that I want to continue it as a monthly circle. And I don't know what happened. It's like, I was so excited doing my post, because I can relate to like not wanting to post that much or whatever. I wish I could be that batch creator person, but I'm just not. I'm like my projector self. It's like, I don't post anything unless I actually feel it. Like I have to feel it in my, otherwise I'm not posting it, because if it just feels like I'm just going through the motions, for me personally, it just doesn't translate. Totally. So I was so pumped about doing my last post, promoting this, this monthly circle. And like, literally, like, I don't know if it's just the energies we're in right now with this eclipse energy stuff, but like these last couple of days, I'm just kind of like, since I posted it, it's almost like that vulnerability hangover. It's like, okay, now I've put it out there, because before I didn't even post anything about my container on social media. Like I just directly reached out to people, because for me, I feel like that works better than me putting all this time into like social media. However, what came to me when you asked this question, Jody, for what I could do differently, I was like, okay, so my 3.0 self is all about impact this year. And it's like, I can't make more impact if I'm not visible. Like people have to see me. So as much as I want to be like, oh, I'll just send out the vibes and people will come. Like, no, like, I mean, yes, but and like
And also,
you also have to be visible, right? So I'm like, so that's what came to me was like, ah. And then Brian, when you said like, you know, your YouTube, like I have been saying forever that I'm gonna like start posting stuff on YouTube. I still haven't done it yet. So it's more like the consistency of the posting. So it's like just starting small, like as opposed to me posting something and then not posting like for another month, right? Like it's just consistently, even like you said, Brian, if it's just like one little thing. But I find that those like one little squares, those one little graphics, they don't get any engagement. Like it's like you've got to do a carousel. Like I think the algorithm loves carousels now. So got to do a carousel. And then, you know, like the reels, whatever. But like I just have to figure out a way where I'm just doing like, because my issue is that I have so much freaking content because I've got my empowered brand, I've got my empowered kids brand, and I've like basically my life is content, right? So I've got a ton of content just sitting there, but it's like I just get overwhelmed and it's just like, okay, what do I focus on? Where do I start? Like my ADHD brain goes like haywire, and then I just kind of go into like paralysis, right? It's just like I just get tired. I'm like, I get overwhelmed and I get tired. So, yeah. So I hear everything that you're saying. Like, I hear everything that everyone said so far. But I think the one action that I'm going to do is like, I know what Brian was saying about resistance. Like, I know resistance because as soon as I break through to like another like level, I always feel that like massive resistance of just like, but it's our ego like wanting to pull us back, right? So I think my biggest thing right now is to just commit to something like small. So if it's like, okay, maybe a couple times a week. If I can't do every single day, a couple times a week.
Great.
Like
Yes.
2 posts a week and then keep that going, right?
Yeah.
And I've been saying forever that I'm going to start like going on my Empowered Kids page more because I'm in the process of illustrating my children's book that I wrote like 4 years ago. So finally publishing and illustrating that. So I know that my Empowered Kids, the reason I started that years ago was because I knew it was going to be a platform to promote my book. So it's like I need to start getting the energy like infusing into that as well to just kind of so
yeah, so the cadence, that's like a big one. And then I want to, Brian has a call at 11, so we just have 5 minutes and I want to make sure I wrap up. But the cadence is a big one. Even twice a week is great. And then you can fill in wherever else you feel called to fill in, right? But just keeping to that cadence, keeping the promise to yourself that you're going to do it, right? Like that's going to help you create momentum.
Yeah.
So I want to just quickly, you guys, run back through some of the best practices, tips, stuff, and things that have worked for us. And then we're going to wrap up because Brian has to get on his other call at 11. So the first one is your structure. How often are you posting? What's your cadence? How are you going to do it? Are you going to do it every day? In which case that needs to go in your calendar, like block off an hour to do your posting. Or are you going to batch create like Rochelle, right? Like figuring out what your system is, your cadence, that stuff. The second thing is life is your content. So whatever's happening, this always happens to us when we're feeling stuck, when we're not sure, and we just go, what's happening in our life right now? Okay, what can we talk about? Okay, life is the content, and that can also incorporate like the themes. What's going on in the world? What's going on in your world? Are there birthdays? Are there anniversaries? Are there International Women's Day? Like, what are the things going on in the world that can help you kind of create your content as well as your promotional schedule? What are you promoting? Is something coming up, whether it's an event, a paid one, a free one, opening up your program, like all of those things can help you create the content that you need. As Brian always says, it needs to be fun. And part of that is filming in your domain. So he likes to film outside. If you guys like to film outside too, that's something great. I like to film actually on the couch downstairs. I have like a spot where I film from. So what can we do to make it fun and film in your domain? And then using your content to send DMs, right? To invite people, to let them know, because if they're not seeing, the only other way for them to know it's there is for you to send them a message. Keep them in the loop. If they don't reply, you can try maybe one follow-up. If not, you can move on, right? But if there are people following you, someone's interested in what's going on. So using the DMs. And then the last thing is, I think Show, you just said this, is doing a photo shoot, doing some B-roll. Like this is something you guys can do with someone else who likes you enough to spend an hour or two with you and film some stuff for you. Friend, family, partner, whatever. And go and just film some B-roll. Like a whole bunch of 10, maybe 6, 7, 10, 15-second clips of you doing stuff in your house, outside, going for a walk, drinking your coffee, whatever. If you film a bunch of those, it's going to make your content life a lot easier, and obviously get some pictures in there as well. You don't need a fancy photo shoot. You don't need to spend $1,200 on a photographer and all that stuff. Go with your camera. iPhone cameras or whatever cameras are great. Get a friend and go and get it done. So that will help you just have something to pull from, and then you can use that for the like base of all of your stuff. Yes. Last two is the stories into reels. I think I talked about this already. So going live on your stories, save the story, and then you can share it as a reel if it turned out well and you want to share it as a reel. And you can do the same with carousels. You create a carousel, and then if you put all the pictures together back to back, it'll create a reel. So you can use your carousel to create a reel as well. So when you go into reels, you just select all the pictures that you want to use in the order, and it will just like put them together like a movie. And then you can edit and put words and put music and do all the things. So using the things you're already doing to turn it into something else. Yes? Okay, 10:58. Anybody have a final thought before we jump off?
No, I'm just glad so many of us showed up today. These things work the best when we have like this kind of
100%.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you guys. Honestly, thank you guys for showing up. I'm so happy you did. I hope you guys got some gold nuggets. Actually, if everyone can do us a favor, jump into the group right now and tell us what your number one takeaway was. I'd love to get that from everybody. And if you have thoughts or ideas for what you want to do for next month, let us know. But thank you guys so much. This was awesome. We're going to post the recording. Hope it was helpful. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you guys back on Saturday, right? If you're
I'm not sure.
our house tomorrow, see you then. And if
Yeah.
not, Saturday morning, 9 o'clock.